Okay, measurement of impedance. So whenever you are terminating any circuit with the load, it is very important to know what is the impedance of that particular load. So that can be measured by using, first is the magic T, second is the slotted line method, and third is the reflectometer method. So I'll explain first method, which I have already explained in the previous session. That is nothing but the using magic T. So to measure this particular impedance using magic T, I must know what are the characteristics of the magic T. So when it comes to the magic T, it's a 4-port device. These are nothing but the collinear ports, and these are nothing but the auxiliary ports. So this is your H arm, this is your E arm, this is port number 1. So I'm connecting my unknown impedance to port number 1. I'm connecting I'm connecting a known impedance to port number 2. I'm connecting known impedance to the port number 3. I'm giving microwave power to the port number 3, or microwave source must be connected to the port number 3, and I'm connecting null detector to the port number 4. Okay. So, and what is this port number 1? Port number 1 is having a standard variable. You can vary this particular impedance, and this must be the known. You can see this impedance. So the first port will be connected with the standard variable known impedance. Now, whose impedance is to be measured is connected to the port number 2. Now, you know that whenever you are giving something to the ports, say you are giving some power as A3 power to the port number 3. What happens when you are giving A3 power to, it gets equally divided into port number 1 and port number 2. Say this is port number 1, this is port number 2, this is port number 3, and this is port number 3. And what that division, how the division takes place, your power will be divided by 1, I can say by root 2 A3, ठीक है, and this will be 1 by root 2 A3, ठीक है. Now this power will, now I'll just write here. So 1 by root 2 A3 will be given to the port 2, 1 by root 2 A3 will be given to the port 2. Now you are having two different loads, so reflection coefficients will be different, ठीक है. So whatever power come out of this particular port will be depending on the reflection coefficient. So 1 by root 2 rho 1 A3, 1 by root 2 A3 rho 2. So reflection coefficients are different. So whatever power will come out of these two ports will be different. And what happens to the port number 2? Addition takes place at the port number 3. Your port 4 is nothing but the difference port. So in this port, difference happens. So if these two inputs are equal, when these two inputs will be equal, this is 1 half rho 1 A3 is equal to 1 by root 2 rho 2 A3. Okay? When these two will be input, when rho 1 is equal to rho, and when rho 1 is equal to rho 2, when your Z1 is equal to Z2. Okay? Now, when these two inputs are same, your null detector will detect 0 here. So when your Z1 becomes Z2, then this port 4 will have a 0 output. So change the standard variable known impedance. You vary Z1 to get 0 at 4. So when you will get 0 at port number 4, your Z1 matches with your, you can say Z2. So you can very well comment on a Z2. जो भी आपका Z1 का value होगा वो यहाँ पे Z2 का value होगा. So this is the way how you can find out unknown impedance using the magic T. The second method is nothing but the measurement of impedance using slotted line. So what you are doing, you are using the slotted line here. So you are using incident and a reflected waves are due to the mismatch. Now if you are connecting your slotted line in the microwave bench. So incident and reflected waves are due to mismatch of the load under test whose impedance is to be measured, giving the standing waves. So step 1, you are connecting it with the Z well, which gives the Vmax and Vmin. So आपने क्या किया है? This is microwave source, this is pad, this is slotted line connected to the crystal detector and 10 to the power meter. You are having a unknown load over here. You have connected it with the unknown load. In the second, you have replaced that unknown load with the short termination. The complete setup will be same. Now here your shift in the Vmax and Vmin is measured. So with known load you are having this output Vmax and Vmin. Okay? In the setup number 2, if your shift is to the left side, you can say your load is the inductive. So if minimum shifted to the left, then you can say your impedance is inductive. If your minimum shifted to the right, then you can say your impedance is capacitive. Okay? So you can find out what kind of impedance you have connected. Is it inductive? Is it capacitive? And by taking the ratio of maximum by minimum, V max by V min, you can comment on the magnitude of that particular voltage standing wave ratio. So both impedance and reflection coefficient can be obtained in terms of the magnitude as well as in the phase by using the slotted line method. The third method is the measurement of impedance using reflectometer. Now, here what you have done here in the reflectometer method, you are using the directional coupler. As we have already gone through the directional coupler, you know the characteristics of the directional coupler. Okay, if I draw the directional coupler, this is a 4-port device. So in the 4-port device you are having this kind of a structure. See, suppose this is the main arm and these are your auxiliary arms. Okay, so whenever you are giving something to the port number 1, it goes to the port number 2. Port number 3 is isolated port, and your port number 4 will be coupled port. Okay, so your ratio of 10 log to the base 10 pi by pf shows you the coupling factor. So if I'm saying my coupling factor is 20 dB, it means that my input power is 100 times greater than forward power, or I can comment that my forward power is 100 times smaller than the input power. And if I take it as 30 dB, I can say it's a 1000 times smaller than the in forwarded power is the 1000 times smaller than the input power. So I'm using directional coupler. So one is the forward directional coupler, that is you have given the input to the port number 1, and then you are checking it to the port number 2. So if I see here what kind of the connections are done, so you are given a microwave source. This is port number 1, this is port number 2, this is third port is terminated, port number 4. So if it's 20 dB, your forward detector will detect pi by 100. Then you have connected that 2 power to the reverse. So this will be the port number 2, this will be the port number 1. Now what will happen if this is not terminated properly? The power will be reflect back. Now this reflected power will be given to the port number. Now here if this is the reverse directional coupler, 2 को input है 1 को output है, तो ये आपका port number 3 होगा. ठीक है, so this will be the forward power. So what kind of a forward power you will get here? Or I can say you just say this is nothing but the auxiliary port. Instead of giving any number, I'll say this is the auxiliary port. So if for 20 dB, जो भी आपका input यहाँ पे जाएगा will be coupled to the auxiliary port 200 times smaller. So PR by 100. So here I have got the PI by 100, here I have got PR by the 100. So reflectometer gives me the ratio of reflected power by incident power. I know that reflected power is 100 and PI is the reflected power is PR by 100, incident power is PI by 100. So this gives me the exact ratio. So reflection coefficient is equal to PR by PI. Now I have got the value of reflection coefficient here. So if I got the reflection coefficient, I can connect it with ZL minus Z0, ZL plus Z0. Always the characteristic impedance of any transmission line is known, then you can go on commenting the Z0. So if you have calculated reflection coefficient by using reflectometer method, you know characteristic impedance, you can calculate the unknown impedance. So this is the reflectometer method. Now it gives only magnitude of the impedance but not the phase angle. It will not tell you whether that load is inductive, whether that load is capacitive. Only a magnitude of impedance will be given. So employs two directional coupler to sample PI and PR from the load. Now measurement of impedance using reflectometer method. So we have already talked about reflectometer method. So I think I have covered three methods. The first method using magic T, second method using slotted line, and third method is nothing but the using reflectometer method to impedance